Well, good morning all, and welcome to Dartmoor again actually, and this lovely red barn that we've got here. Now I have driven 2 hours for one photo, and that one photo is of this barn. It is bluebell season at the moment, and I've seen some photos down here of when I was just doing a bit of research on the area, and this barn sort of surrounded by bluebells, and I was really hoping to get down here and find some bluebells, but it's looking like there isn't one to be seen anywhere. So obviously it's not a great season down here, or certainly this bit here, for bluebells for whatever reason. But no matter, I mean, it's still a beautiful scene, which I hope you'd agree. I love the red sort of colour on top of the barn, and just the steel stone walls and the moss on it, and just these trees as well that are now just beginning to get some new leaves on them as well, because like I say, we're early May at the moment, and it just looks beautiful. So I've got my 4x5 6x17 back. I've got 2 sheets of 4x5 Delta 100. I've got 1 roll of Delta 400, I think it is, and then I've got 2 rolls of Ektachrome E6. Now I'm just going to mention at the start of the video that with the Ektachrome, I'm going to put this video out without showing the Ektachrome images, if I use it, that is, because I don't have anything to develop the Ektachrome in. I'm in 2 minds at the moment with to send a batch off to get done, which is probably going to cost me anywhere around between 50 and 60 pounds, and probably 3 to 4 weeks of waiting for them to get back. But I would rather develop it myself, and when I've been looking around for E6 chemicals, I just can't seem to find them in stock anywhere, which is really frustrating. So what I'm gonna have to do is probably put the video out, and then I was gonna do a bit of a what's in my bag type video, which I know, Christ, a lot of you hate, but I thought it might be useful for some people to see, you know, what camera equipment I carry around with me in different scenarios. So what I'll probably do is put the E6 images up in and around that video. So I'll let you know when that's happening, but what I will do is put the black and white images up I'm going to take today, and any I take on the Lumix, which is filming me now. So anyway, that's what's going on today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Viewfinder app out, and I'm going to have a walk around. Now the sun has just come out at the moment. It's sort of overcast with some quite large areas of blue sky, which is quite nice. I'm glad I didn't get down here for first thing in the morning. The sun's been up now about an hour and a half, something like that, and I'm sort of glad that I didn't come out first thing, because it was quite cloudy this morning, and the sun was rose behind a bank of clouds. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't get up stupid o'clock to get down here. And the other thing is about the cloud being like it is at the moment is it's quite nice. I've never been to this location before, so of course anything that I'm going to look at now is new to me, apart from what I've seen on sort of Google. So I'm kind of glad that it is behind a bank of cloud at the moment, because it just gives me that time to slow down. Because let's be honest, all of us landscape photographers have it in us. Doesn't matter how professional you are, if you get to somewhere and the light is just kicking off, you're going to go around like a headless chicken trying to get anything you can, especially if you've never been to a location before. So this sort of sun at the moment, just hiding behind that cloud, it is going to come out, but just at the moment it's not. Just gives me that opportunity to go around and look at some different compositions. So I'm going to get the app out now, and I'm going to have a look round and see what 6x17 shots I can get here. I'm quite liking this scene as it is, like I'm still here at the moment, but I'm going to get around and just see what else I can find. So yeah, let's get on with it, and I'm going to start with this. So I'll see you in a minute. Just wanted to talk through this scene just while I was waiting for the light to come out. I've probably got another 5 minutes yet, something like that. So I just thought I'd talk through my thinking with this scene. Now, I have used the Viewfinder app on my phone to obviously just walk around and have a look at everything. So that is the, hopefully that focuses on that, but that's what the app looks like. So I've gone through and sort of just walked around the whole building, been in the fields next to it and down there, and just looked at different angles, and this one here is my favorite. So I think the bluebells are in this field just here, just looking. There's a path that goes up for the middle, and I could just see some signs of life in the bluebells. Now, weirdly enough, even though this field is exposed, it doesn't actually look like they've been out yet. I might be wrong, but just looking at the bluebells there, it doesn't look like they've been out. Now, I'd have expected, because there's no cover on these bluebells, and they've obviously had direct sunlight, that they would be gone by now, and that might be the case. But you know, I'm no expert on these things, but they look like they're still due to come out. But the reason why I chose this scene here is because I just like the way that the barn is on the angle there. You can see most of the barn. That there's obviously you can see through into the barn. Not that the positive film will pick that up, because I think that would be too dark in there for it to deal with. But there's no obstruction there, just to look straight into the doorway. I've obviously been careful to keep this tree on this side sort of separate, so it doesn't interfere with the corner of the barn. So there is a clear line and gap between the barn and that tree. And then, like I say, the wall on this corner down here, I've just gone to make sure that there's actually I've got grass and clear space past the end of that wall. Not a great deal, only a little bit, but just enough to sort of show that that's the corner, and then it returns back round there, and that, like I say, there is a bit of a gap there. I did sort of play with just some different angles there to see whether it looked, if it looked better without showing the gap after the wall or not. And I just think it works nicer with the gap just after the wall, is showing that in the frame. So it's nice that, like I say, the sun is sort of from that direction, so it's hitting the top of the barn and just the front of the barn, obviously the corner of these trees and the old buildings in the sort of background, which are in the frame also. The other thing I'm liking as well is because we're in a little bit of a dip here, and you can see that the valley raises up on the other side. I haven't got masses of sky in the shot, because in this scene, to me, the sky makes no difference at all. It's irrelevant. It doesn't bring anything to the scene. But it is just nice that it is a grey, sort of dull colour, because it just helps bring that dynamic range down, and within the, you know, helps make sure that everything's within the dynamic range of the film that I'm using. So that was my thinking with this shot. I just love the green on the wall, and obviously the fact that these two trees have got some leaves on them now, and yeah, just really, yeah, just drew my eye to it immediately. As soon as I walked down the path here, I just saw this and I thought, yeah, that is the shot. And maybe that what has affected me staying where I am when I walked around, is that in my head I already knew the shot I was looking for, or I was after, which is just here. So yeah, so that's it. Like I say, it's a bit of a shame that the bluebells aren't in this bit of a field here, but it doesn't matter. It's still a beautiful scene, and I'm going to shoot one roll of Ektachrome, and then I'm going to shoot my black and white for it as well. And like I say, you're going to see the black and white images, but not the Ektachrome images, because of the dilemma, or the hassle I'm having getting them developed, which is a bit of an annoyance. But doesn't matter. Hopefully you enjoy the black and white images that you're going to see. And yeah, like I say, it's just a waiting game now for some sun, which I think we're just about to get now. So I'm going to just have another meter, certainly shining on me anyway. 11 2/3, darkest area is 9 1/3. Yep, I think we're all good. So I'm just going to take the slide out in readiness, because I think I'm literally just getting a couple of seconds of light here before it then disappears behind a cloud. So I'm having to act pretty quick here with this. Like, it just looks like it's gone behind the cloud again. I can sort of see it on the distant hills, sort of hitting it every so often, but like I say, it's literally there for a few seconds and it's gone. So it's just a waiting game, frustratingly enough, which I suppose it's the name of the game, really, isn't it? Right, so the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed I've actually changed location. I was just the other side of this wall, which is just literally here. and I was thinking, why am I being that stupid? I'm that side of the wall, and what I was getting in was this rock right here. Was this one right here was in the corner of my frame. So, and I could see it, and it was annoying me, and I just thought, I'll take it out in post. And I was thinking, why am I doing that? I might as well just jump over the wall, get a little bit closer, just have to change position slightly just to make sure that, again, I've got that gap at the end of that wall, and that I've got obviously a sufficient gap between the tree and the building, which I have. I've got more gap now because I've also got closer to it. And I've just been sitting around for probably half an hour just waiting for the sun, which is just about to appear now. So I've gone back with f/22 because I've set it up, I've refocused. I'm literally just waiting for some nicer sunlight, which hopefully is just about to come through now. Just looking at the cloud that's beyond it, there seems to be a haze in the air up there, so I think it's going to be more of like a softbox effect light on the building itself, or on the landscape I should say. So yeah, it's literally, well, you'll probably be able to see it's coming out now. Just getting a bit brighter, so I'll start to just look around the scene. So I'm dealing with EV of about 10 in the darkest areas. Yeah, it's a 10 to 12 and a third. So there's only really a couple of stops there. So I'm sort of happy with what I've got. I'm just waiting for this sun. It's so frustrating. It's literally there. I can see it coming out, and now and again I can see it on the distant hills, and it's really annoying. But anyway, well, I hope you'll agree that this location is just beautiful, and I can imagine that when this field that I'm now stood in is full of bluebells, I bet it's just a magical place, because you know, it's I've never seen, some of the pictures I've seen just look amazing. They look so beautiful with this field just full of bluey purpley colour. It must just look amazing. But like I said, I don't know if I'm too late or too early. I don't know, but I'll have to come back down here maybe in a week's time, and I'll be able to assess the situation. So yeah, all right, here we go. Come on, son. Okay, I think I'm going to take one now, because there is some soft light on it at the moment. So I'm going to take one now and just see what that looks at. Now, just having remetered the scene, I need f/22. And the third is 1/4 of a second, which is what I'm on. Cock the shutter. I'll just shield the lens a little bit from the sun. That's it. That's the second shot in the bag. Wide on to number 5. Okay, so the sun is now getting a bit stronger because I can see my own shadow, so I'm just going to meter again. Like I say, with positive film, it is a case of just keeping remetering as the scene changes, because it like I say, the dynamic range you've got to deal with. So the brighter areas is 13, mid-grey is 12 and 2/3, 11 and 2/3, sorry. Right, that's good. Okay, so if I change this to f/16 and 2/3, gives me 1/8 of a second. Get this taken while this sun is out. Got to shield the lens. Beautiful. I'm excited about that shot. Like I say, just that sort of, it's not too overpowering the light. It's just a nice sort of soft light on the building or on the scene. We'll roll on to 7. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the black and white film on. I'm tempted to put a yellow filter on because there's quite a bit of green in this scene, or I might try a red. Probably go with a yellow. I like the red filter because of I like the strong contrast it gives. So Not sure what to go with yet. Probably a yellow filter, I think, because of the fact we've got all this green in here. So yeah, so just waiting for this last bit of light now. Here we go. I'll just double check. It's gone up to, the brightest areas have gone up to 13 1/3, and the darkest areas, so what I want to be sort of mid-grey is reading at 12. The darkest areas are 10 1/3, 10 1/3. That's all fine. So f22 is now 1/8 of a second, so we'll just move that slightly. Cock the shutter, take the slide out and take this shot. That's it. It's beautiful, and as easy as that. That is an 18-pound roll of Ektachrome, or normally it would be 18-pound, obviously it was a little bit less than that, it's probably more like 15-pound a roll, has now been burnt through. So let's get the black and white in while we still got this amazing sunshine, and get on and shoot that. So I'm going to turn the camera off now, I'm going to reload some black and white in here, reset myself up, and I'm going to go with some black and white. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've set up with the black and white now. So this is a Delta 400, or roll of Delta 400. I've gone with the yellow filter on the front first. I'm going to take probably a shot with that, shot with the red filter, and a couple of shots with no filter, just to compare to see what they're like really. So I'm going to go with the yellow filter first, just metering through the filter, because obviously you've got to make sure that you take into account for the filter. You can do that in a couple of ways. You can either use something like an app, which you can you know, meter the scene, put your settings in, and then add the filter, and it'll tell you what you know, how long you, or what settings you need to, taking into account the effect of the filter. You can do it in your head, by sort of remembering what all these differences are with the filters, because they are all different. They'll give you different stops in value of light, or you can do what I do, when you can, of course. You can't always do this, but I filter meter through the filter, get it the right way around, and that will then give me what I need. So I'm just literally, all I'll do with it is I'll take the meter and the filter, and I'll just offer it up and put that back on. But I mean, really, I'm not a big fan of using filters, to be honest with you. I just find them a massive faff. Just change that slightly just to take into account the change in light there, so I'm getting when the sun does finally appear. So I'm on f22 1/3, give me 15th of a second. So we're going to go with that. Like I say, as soon as this light appears again, I'm going to take that shot, change over to a red, meter again, and then go from there. In fact, what I might do is meter now and get my settings ready, so I can just literally throw my red filter on as soon as the time's right. 10 1/3 for the red, 10 1/3, which if I left the same f-stop, which is f22 1/3, would mean that basically I've lost a stopper light between the yellow filter and the red filter. There's a stopper light difference with the red filter being darker. So that gives me 1/8 of a second at f22 1/3. So that's the settings I'm going to go with as soon as I switch over. But I'm just waiting for some light. But I definitely cannot complain about today, because it is just beautiful. And if I had the time, I would literally stay out here all day. But unfortunately, I don't have the time. So, because of course the other thing with filters is it introduces, and I'm just going to take this shot now the sun's out, it introduces an extra layer of glass that can take, or can basically add dust onto your negative, which is what you definitely don't want, because dust on a negative is a nightmare. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 shots with the yellow and 2 shots with the red. So I'll take this again while the sun is out. Just make sure I'm shielding the lens. That's it. That's the second shot with the yellow in the bag. I'm now going to take it all off and put the red on. adjust the settings to account for the extra stropper light difference between the red and the yellow. Of course, you know, there's also the added effect of having to screw the filter onto the end of the lens. That's why a lot of people now are changing to the magnetic filters, or one of the reasons, because they're easier, and you just get that sort of less movement when you then just put the lens on the front because it's magnetic. Right, change that to 8 for a second. Cock the shutter, wait for a bit more stronger light, which I'm getting now. Pull that out, shutter's cocked. Righto, that's the first one with the red. And move on to frame 7 and the last frame. Leave the settings the same. And now just waiting for some light, yet again. I can see it over there, just not on my barn. Oh, there's a massive bank of cloud. I might just have to take this. In fact, I'm going to take it. Right, I'm going to take my last shot. That's it. Okay, so that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching and sticking with me to the end. I hope you'll agree that this location is absolutely beautiful, and certainly I would recommend people coming here because it is a beautiful location. Like I say, it's in Dartmoor. I can't remember exactly where I am, but anyway, it's in Dartmoor. I'll put in the description below exactly where it is, so you guys can come and check it out yourself. I wish we did have bluebells here, but obviously we haven't. But that doesn't matter because I've still loved the day, and this shot without the bluebells on its own is absolutely beautiful. And I think I've definitely got, from my view anyway, the best spot here, taking it from this angle. So I really hope you enjoyed the black and white shots I put up, and a couple from the digital camera as well. And like I say, the E6 shots will come a bit later on once I've figured out how I'm going to get them developed. But anyway, if you've liked the content, then please leave a like on this video, and if you're liking what I'm producing in general, please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me and it helps me out massively. So anyway, until the next time, I will see you guys again.